Hi everyone, this is Venkatesh from Naresh IT Technologies. In this video today, let us have a small discussion on two things and this and this off. In the last video, we've been concentrating on super and super off. Today, this and this off. These two keywords are giving some confusion for the developer in usage. So let me concentrate on the difference between this and this here brace is there. So whenever we had like this now, this keyword in Java is used to access the members of the same class. Yesterday I introduced the super keyword in the last video. The super keyword is used to access the members of super class or parent class. The coding rule of super keyword is nothing but the super keyword must be used within the method of subclass. Today I am trying to use this keyword. This keyword is used to access the members of the same class. So let me demonstrate this now. I am taking one class with name test. I had one constructor test into some x comma y comma and z. The meaning of this declaration is nothing but the method which is having the same name of the class, we are calling it as constructor. The constructor we are calling it as parameterized constructor. This parameterized constructor having three parameters, three integer parameters. I am taking one more constructor having two parameters. I am taking one more constructor which is having one parameter. Now I declared three constructors with the same name. I cannot say same name. They are three constructors declared in the same class. Three parameterized constructor, two parameterized constructor, one parameterized constructor. Already we know constructor is a method having the same name of the class and the constructors are executed while object creation. Why these constructors are executed while object creation means the constructor call is available within the object creation syntax. Now I am trying to create object for this class. Test sum t is equal to new test. I am calling it as constructor call for understanding purpose. I am calling it as constructor call. Here I am calling one constructor. While constructor call, I am passing parameters some 11, 12 and 13. Whenever I pass the three parameters while object creation, here the constructor call is available. Now I am calling one constructor of test having three parameters. So this int x, int y, int z. This constructor is activated. The 11 copied onto x, 12 copied onto y and 13 copied onto your z. So in this I am displaying the value of z. We passed three parameters 11, 12, 13. Whenever I pass three parameters while object creation, the constructor which is having three parameters is activated. Here I am printing the value. The value z is equal to plus z. I am displaying the z here and the two other parameters are there now. I am passing like this. This of x comma y. Just now I said this keyword is used to access the members of the same class. Now I am using this of. Our question is what now? What is the difference between this and this one? Whenever I say this of means constructor call, that is nothing but constructor call. I am trying to call one constructor and passing the parameters. How many parameters now? Two parameters. Now this is constructor call, internal constructor call. Whenever I use this syntax now, this of x comma y, now I will be looking the control, program control will be within the same class, looking for the constructor which is having two parameters. Now this is activated. When this constructor is activated now, here I am printing system.out.println the value y equal to plus y. Now here I activated the constructor by passing two parameters Now this is activated. Now I displayed y here, but the x value is there, no, I am passing like this, this of x, I am passing this of x. This is also one constructor call. Now I am calling the constructor within the same class which is having one parameter, passing this x as parameter. Now z displayed here, and I pass the x and y as parameter to constructor having two parameters. Now this constructor activated, and I displayed y here. The value what is available on x, I pass it to constructor having single parameter. Now this constructor is activated, I am displaying this x. Now if you observe clearly here, while object creation, I am passing three parameters. Now this three parameters constructor is activated. This three parameterized constructor will display one z here, and the remaining two parameters passed to the next constructor of the same class. So this is used here to activate the constructor from the same class and pass x and y as parameter. Among this x and y, I am passing x as parameter to the next constructor. If I execute the program, I will get the value x, y and z. X is displayed from the constructor having single parameter, y displayed from the constructor having two parameters, and z displayed from the constructor having three parameters. But while object creation, I called only one constructor, but this constructor called one more constructor internally, and the second constructor called one more constructor internally by using which keyword now? This. So what you observed here, whenever we want to call the constructor from the same class, I am using this keyword. That is the theory. Now where I can use this one, sir? Means this keyword is used to access the variables and methods of the same class. So if I go with the next concept like this. Now in this program I demonstrated how to call constructors from the same class by using this syntax. Now in this class I had one method now, void sum m1, void sum m2, like this, two methods. Here I had one variable, this is one instance variable, this is one method, this is one method. Here I will keep some data. The value a, I am trying to access the value from the same class, no, I am calling it as this dot a. If I am trying to display, I had two methods now, one is m1 method, one is m2 method. After object creation, I must call the method t1 dot m1, I am calling the method. Whenever I call this method, and this is method call, whenever I call this method, this m1 method is executed, which is having two statements, display from m1 and the value is displayed from m1. My intention here is nothing but I am calling m1, the m1 has to call m2, but m2 belongs to same class now. Whenever we want to call the method or variable from the same class, we take the support of this. See there, I am using this dot m2. This is one method call. This is one method call. See there, I must call from m1. I am trying to call the method m2 from m1. I am calling m2 from m1. Here I am calling m1. I create an object for test. I am calling m1. m1 came for execution. While executing m1, m1 is calling m2, m2 is being executed. So if I execute this program, m1, m2, what is the meaning of this program? We created object, by using that object reference variable we called M1. M1 copied onto Java stack of your JVM architecture for execution. While executing M1, it called M2. Means M1 internally called M2. That M2 is available in the same class now. Whenever you want to call the component from the same class, I took the support of this. That's the concept. Understood the difference now? This is used to call the method or variable. Method or variable. This of is used to call constructors of the same class. Sir, if I don't use this keyword here, what happens? If I don't use this, answer will come. There is no difference. Sir, why the difference did not came, sir? The reason is nothing but actually this keyword must be there, but if we don't use any this keyword, thus this keyword is automatically added by the compiler at the compilation stage. Whenever we try to access the members of the same class without declaring this keyword manually by the programmer, at the compilation stage compiler will add this keyword. So simply we can make a statement to you, this keyword is added automatically here, but actual code is nothing but you must use this here. If the developer do not use this keyword here, automatically compiler at compilation stage adds this keyword. Understand? The final statement is nothing but what is the difference between this and this with brace like this. This is used to access variables and methods of the same class. This with brace, this of is used to access the constructors from the same class. That is the basic difference between this. Where we can see this popularly in usage means whenever we are trying to load the data onto instance variables by using constructor, and if the instance variable names and parameters used in the constructor, if they are same, we take the support of this keyword. Let me show that program. Here in usage, suppose I had two variables, I am using one constructor now. A is equal to x, b is equal to y. I had AB as instance variables, x and y local variable to constructor. This constructor is activated while object creation syntax. Here I am passing 12 and 13. Already we know whatever the parameters we passed while object creation, they are passed on to the parameterized constructor. So test of 12 comma 13 activates one constructor, that is test of int x comma int y. Here the 12 loaded onto x, 13 loaded onto y, but internally what is that code here? The x value loading onto A, the y value loading onto B, means what? A and B is the instance variable. But you must know one theory here. According to the Java language, if you look the variables onto JVM architecture, the variables which are declared outside the method within the class, if they are non-static variables, they are known as instance variables because they get the memories within the object while object creation. These instance variables available within the object. The x and y, what is declared within the constructor, we are calling it as local variables. According to the Java journey, the variables which are declared within the method may be of constructor or method. They are known as local variables. Local variables can be used only within the method. The reason is nothing but local variables will get the memory while method execution. According to Java, the application will be running on Java virtual machine. Among the three important parts we had Java stack area where the methods are executed. While this method is started executing, maybe of constructor, maybe of method, the local variables will get the memories. Simply, the local variables will get the memory within the method frame of Java stack area. That's the theory. So if you observe this code here, x and y will get the memory within the method frame, a and b will get the memory within the heap area within the object. Now I am trying to load the value from x to a I am trying to load the value from Y to B. If I run the program, I will get the answer. Got the answer. Now my intention is to introduce this keyword within the constructor. So here I am trying to use the same variable. I am using A, I am using B here. I am using A, I am using B here. According to the rule here, this is local variable, this is instance variables. Instance variables will get the memory within the object, while object creation we are calling it as instance. Local variables will get the memory within the method frame while method execution. Now I am loading A onto A and B onto B. I am loading A onto A and B onto B. Just I changed the local variable name equal to instance variable names. But according to the memory allocation, the developer should have one knowledge here. Local variables will get the memory within the method frame. I am repeating that point. Instance variables will get the memory within the object. Let me run this program. Answer is 0 and 0. Observe the output. Here A is equal to 12, B is equal to 13. I changed that X variable as A and Y variable as B. The answer is 0 and 0. Why, sir? Why this has been happened? Whenever you want to overcome this kind of access, what you have to do? Now these variables what I am displaying is from object, instance variables. Look onto the code. Now these are local variables, these are instance variables. By location, local variables in Java stack, instance variables in your heap area. Now while execution, as a developer, I must specify the program control to transfer the data from method frame to object area, nothing but onto instance variables. Whenever I want to specify this, I will take the support of this keyword. If not, what happens are here? Y means A got the memory within the method frame, B got the memory within the method frame. In the process of executing method, the availability of variables are checked within the method frame. If not available, the program control goes to object. If not available, if it is an inheritance process, the program control goes to child class or subclass. If not available, the control goes to superclass or parent class. So now A and B available within the method frame now, loaded in the method frame. It is not updated in the object. Now we have to update the value in the object. Whenever we want to update the value within the object, I will take the support of this dot A, this dot B. I am accessing this dot A, this dot B. What is the meaning, sir? Local variable value loading onto the A belongs to this. This refers what and class. This refers what now? Class. Referring class means what? Class has one object. Object created in the heap area, referring to object. The object has this A and B. So this is giving the reference of object. Simply load this A value onto this A which belongs to the reference of this class. Dot indicates what now? Reference. If I execute this program, I will get the value 11 and 12. 0 and 0, here it is 12 and 13. So where we use popularly in coding now? Sir, whenever I had same variable names in instance variables and whenever we use same local variables within the constructor, take the support of this keyword. This keyword is referring the members of the same class. According to JVM level, this keyword will hold the reference of object of current running class, so that I must specify to the program control to load the data from local variable memory onto the memory available within the object. This is the theory. The final conclusion of this video is nothing but this video hope given good knowledge on this and this of. Whenever you go for interviews and super of, this of. Super keyword will refer the members from the super class. This keyword will refer the members of the current class, nothing but within the same class. But we had two flavors now, super, super off. Super keyword is used to access all the variables and methods of the super class or parent class. Super off will access constructors from your parent class or super class. This keyword will access variables and methods of the same class. This off will access constructors from the same class. In the process of accessing your variables and methods from the same class, if we don't use this keyword, automatically added by your compiler at compilation stage. This is the difference between this and this off. Thank you. Watch me on more videos in Naresh IT Technologies.